Any volunteers?
All right. So, this is the question I have here for you. Why do you think goals are important? ¿Por qué cree que tener metas sea tan importante?
Goals create commitments. So you know that I used the word of the day. Mark me down. I think if you set goals and set them high enough so that they're reachable but not easily reachable, then you're always on a track to achieve. Most of the great inspirational speakers of the day, Tony Robbins and others, lots of sales practices are based on goals of some type. There's lots of different kinds of goals, and therefore having maybe 6, 7, 8 goals that you have targeted in your life are important milestones to attempt to achieve. And as you get close to achieving them, you need to pat yourself on the back and reset them higher so that you're always on the stair step to achieving them. There you go.
Thank you. Now, for a second volunteer that would like to come up.
Yes, Sarah?
Sarah? Yeah. Come on. So the question I have here for you is, what goals, small or big, are you most proud of? ¿Qué meta, grande o pequeña, es la que más la orgullece?
La meta que ahorita me siento muy orgullosa, ahorita soy estudiante, me voy a graduar en mayo, pero eso no es lo que me tiene más orgullosa. Lo que me tiene orgullosa es el poder buscar el aprendizaje día a día, buscarlo, lo puedo encontrar en la tienda, lo puedo encontrar en la universidad, donde sea. Todos los días trato de leer libros que me inspiren, que me aumenten el compromiso de llegar al sueño que yo quiero llegar, y pues en realidad ese sueño no se va a acabar hasta que uno se muera, porque todos los días uno aprende algo nuevo. Y pues esto es lo que me trajo a esta junta, y lo que veo, hay mucha gente que habla muy bien.
La palabra.
La palabra de Dios.
Oh,
Sí,
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 Oh, yeah, sorry.
All right, any more volunteers? Yes? Yeah. This way.
¿Cómo se llama?
Ivan. Okay,
It's
Ivan.
Ivan.
So, question I have here for you. Okay. The question I have here for you is, how would you feel if you accomplished your goals, and how would you celebrate? ¿Cómo se sintiera si realizara sus metas? ¿Y cómo celebraría su triunfo?
Well, first of all, I made a commitment to my wife, to myself, to my teams in business, that I'd always become better and continue to grow, so that I can become who I need to be to reach my goals. And the question was, one more time, can we?
How would you feel if you accomplished all your goals, and how would you celebrate?
So when we accomplish our goals, one of the first things that we do as we're approaching, we know that we're going to make our goal, is that we have to set another one, because the goals are a scoreboard. They provide a scoreboard for you to see if what we're doing is effective. And as we start to get closer to a deadline for a goal, which all goals should have a good deadline, and we realize that we're maybe falling a little bit short, It's feedback. It's a feedback mechanism to let us know that what we're doing might not be so effective, and it causes us to grow. So we can either shrink from that, and I've done. I guess my time is running out here, but this is. I can either shrink from that, or I can learn from it and embrace it. If I'm going to celebrate, or even if we don't reach our goal, I learn something from it, and I get to be able to move on and set another one still. So it's a constant learning process, and being willing to put yourself in a situation where there's feedback, such as this, is part of the process. Thank you.
Now, for a timer, do we still have time for another question?
It's the Toastmasters' job to, you're the one keeping the schedule.
Yeah, do we have time for another?
Yeah.
It's
Oh, sorry.
your call.
Your call.
Me too. Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah,
We have like 15 minutes.
15 minutes? Let's keep it rolling. And another volunteer, pour your heart out. Who else wants to come up here?
I'm sorry, I've been looking at.
Okay.
Spanish or English? Spanglish.
I will.
Maybe you're looking at you.
Bernadette?
Spanish, no, I'm just teasing. I wish.
What goal do you have from the past that you are still working on today? ¿Qué metas del pasado está usted todavía intentando realizar?
Well, one commitment I made to myself when I started teaching was to do 30 years. And it's been rough. I had some obstacles in my path as I started in 1986 teaching, and I wanted to do 30 years. And there was time 2 years ago that I had to take a medical leave of absence for about 12 weeks, and I wasn't sure if I was going to come back. I went on short-term disability. And I did come back the last 7 weeks of school and finished up. And that was like 2 years ago. So I was like 3 years away from my goal of 30 years. I had 27 years in. In this May, I will have 30 years in. And everyone's invited to my reception on the 30th, so mark it. So this is my announcement also. So I'm gonna have a reception. So that was something that I wanted to do, that I've been working on that's like a 30-year goal, but it's something that I really wanted to do, and I did keep to my commitment to teach for 30 years, and I'm only about a month away from my goal.
Wow.
Who's the next victim?
I'll go if everyone's volunteer.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I got to click.
If you met your goal that you have, how would you celebrate it? Si usted realizara su meta, ¿cómo celebraría esa meta?
If I accomplish my meta, I would celebrate. One of the things that I think is important is that I spend so much time planning and wanting to get to this goal and doing the things I gotta do, and yet when I accomplish it, I go, oh, no. Now I run around my kitchen table 3 times because it gets my heart beating, it gets my mind thinking. Then I really take time to think about what I had to do to get to this goal. I compliment myself. I take time and I say, "Daggum, that was good. That was really good." You know, I may have a glass of wine, a little champagne, depending on how much, it took out of me. But being able to have a commitment to do something and to accomplish it is one of the most amazing feelings that you can have. And what's also important is that when you reach your goal and you celebrate, you impress your neurons. You let your brain know that you've done something good. And then what happens is, the next time you have more motivation, you have evidence that you could do something, and so you do it.
So I think we have time for just one last one. One last table topics?
No, we can, I think we have like 2 more.
Oh gosh, all right, well, I guess.
Oh, Rosie.
Volunteer, all right.
Come on, all right.
Rosie has. Rosie.
Want
She
to
goes.
just for it? What goal, small or big, are you most proud of? ¿Qué meta, sea grande o pequeña, es la que más te orgullece?
Wow, one of my goal when I just graduated from pharmacy in Venezuela and started working, I set up a goal that in 1 year I want to get my new car. I didn't have a car in that time, so I planned saving a little bit every month of my salary, and yes, on 1 year, I have the money to buy a used car. That was a very good compliment because with that car, I can apply for another job that was my second or the next goal that I want to accomplish. That gave me a little more time and was more hard. But actually, when I get that second goal, after the 3 years, I celebrate big. I usually go to the restaurant and I buy my intimates and bring wine and have a very nice meal. And my second goal was my commitment with this country to become a citizenship last year.
Very good.
Now, would our other guests like to participate on table topics? Anyone?
¿Cómo se llama? ¿Cómo se llama? Susana.
What do you think is needed to accomplish your goal that you have now, and why? ¿Qué se necesita para llegar a su meta y por qué?
Para llegar a mi meta de hoy en día se necesita enfocar. Necesito tener mi meta bien escrita, necesito tener un plan de cómo hacerla execute y necesito tener acción para hacerla. No nomás el plan, no es bueno nomás pensar lo que vas a hacer, sino tomar acción. Y lo más pienso que se necesita es el compromiso. Sin el compromiso, quizás no llegue a mi meta. Entonces, para mí, el compromiso, el plan, okay, y la acción son los que se necesita para completar mi meta de hoy en día. Gracias.
We have time for one last table topics. One more volunteer. Just one more.
We can cut it right there,
Over
probably.
there?
Yeah.
Now, I'd like to thank everybody